Alright, we're doing this again. This time, I have an idea of what to do. I'm going to cut these things up into 10-minute increments. Problem is, I don't have a second monitor, so I don't know when 10 minutes elapse, because I'm horrible at time management. You wouldn't catch me being a time player in Spurb. But, regardless. We're going to Kanaya, lovely, lovely Kanaya. For I have plenty of friends. Totally, smile. You're learning more about yourself every day. For example, while you already knew that friendship is everything, you're now realizing that staying with your friends is not a priority. Like for last time with friends and you fucking flake off. At least that must be right, because you keep leaving friends and starting over again. Why are you doing this? Probably deeply held values of mine. That makes sense. Anyway, you're ready to meet more friends. The only place you've seen new people recently has been on Jade's Dream Planet. You zap on over. This time something's different. It seems to be a different part of the day than before, and the overhead clouds that previously served as filthy ambient background are now alive with images. Meteors striking a dark world, a planet covered in sugar mountains dotted with goofy giant teapots, a young gray-skinned alien running around catching frogs. These must be Cause Jade was referencing, the ones she said she could never be wrong. Well, you could take a guidance from them, too. We trusted more dubious things than clouds. We zoned in on that frog girl with the short haircut and the red skirt. Time for the zappy thing. It's always night on Troll Planet, but at least when folks were out and about. It's not usually this dark. You confidently head out to start exploring your surroundings and immediately run wall face first. Okay, you're getting your bearings now. You've ended up in some kind of closet. You refrain from making a hackneyed joke about it. They probably don't even have that cultural metaphor here. And the noise you made elicited an answering yelp of surprise in the room outside. You hear footsteps approach you, and then someone yanks the door open. Mom, I'm sorry. Hello. What the fuck? Hello, Kanaya. Opening the door has allowed a beam of bright sunlight to fall across your face. You feel instinctively that light is something to avoid. You hold your hands up to shield your face, and remember that your hands are also made of skin and whimper. The heat is doing its best to fry you, like a vampire in a movie. You're sure that idle thought will not end up having any relevance to this Strogo story whatsoever. Totally. No relevance whatsoever. God damn, is she pretty. What are you? Did you just wander in here, or like... What? She's so fucking flabbergasted. Who? Something like that, you tell her, cringing away from the light. You get the feeling that this girl is not going to fall for the old mailman gambit. Mail troll? You tell her you know one of her other friends. Who? Wait, is it Carcat? Yes, I knew it. He makes friends of all kinds. Well, I obviously can't kick you out right now. You don't seem to be able to handle the sun. So I guess you better stick around until at least nighttime. You could easily zap to nighttime, but this is giving you an in, so you would instinctively set it. No problem. You can just hang out in this closet. It's fine. It's a lovely closet. I know we just met, but you are being kind of weird, says the lady who is even weirder. You hope it's the kind of weird that eventually becomes charming. You don't say that, though. Just think it. You know the barrier between your worlds and thoughts is ambiguous at best, but for real. Anyway, you have no obligation to skulk around in my wardrobe-ifying assets chamber. I have a solution. Pulling the shades, maybe? No. No. Fuck you. Why would I deprive my plants of life-giving sunlight for a fragile-skinned creature I've never met before? It's another solution. A minute later, you are dressed in a floor-length gown of emerald velvet, with long sleeves, a high neckline, and a dramatic hood to pull over your head. The dress does nothing for the heat, but it effectively shields you from the sunlight. There you go. All swallowed up like a babby, you joke. The troll just gives you a level look, and clearly you've stumbled on a cultural misalignment. Even though she's the one who hasn't even heard of a baby, she stares at you until you start to feel embarrassed for knowing things that she doesn't know. She's very good at staring contests. What an amazing potential friend. I see her chainsaw in the background, and the dress that she was making for Vriska. And that goes. that doesn't go anywhere. What an amazing potential friend. Smile. Now out of the closet, you know that joke won't land either. You look around the room. It's indeed covered with plants, as well as colorful bolts of fabric and half-finished sewing projects. Unlike Rose's knitting disarray, it does not give the impression of someone who has difficulty finishing things. This Stroll's room gives an impression of someone who enjoys, even excels at having multiple irons in hot places, or at least she thinks she does. She seems to have just been on her computer thing when you zapped in, because her chat client is flashing insistently. You try to peer at the open window, but she hits a button that makes the projection disappear. A delicate green flush rising to her cheeks. No need to look at that. Guiltily, you remember spying on Rose. When she called you out, you thought for a second that your chances of her being her friend had run out. Like if there was a universe where you became her friend and one of you didn't, you'd stumbled clumsily into the wrong one of the bad one, if you will. Ah. I see the reader is starting to remember his powers of knowing all the splinters that he came across, remembering his ability as a harp player. But luckily, everything turned out fine. Maybe you could get away with it again? Plus, this troll doesn't even know about your powers yet. Not like Rose did. She would have no reason to suspect you. Save. There we go. Okay, now. All consequences are consequence-free. Let's not. No, wait. The last time we tried to be nice, it turned out to be bad, but it was also with Karkat. So now I'm just sitting here thinking, what the fuck do I do now? I don't know. Regardless, Kanya's theme is a banger, by the way. Let's not. I respect this lady. I very much like her. Do not. No. Even if you don't get caught, it's just not a good way to begin a friendship. Much fairer to start on even footing. Besides, you already have an in. You asked the troll how she knows Karkat. She looks bored by this conversation starter. Sorry, but I was actually kind of busy when you came in. I'm not going to consign you to fiery death outside in the light, but I would appreciate some personal time. Sure, you say. Of course. The troll gives you a suspicious look until you turn away enough that she can be assured of privacy. Then she goes right back to chatting with her friends. After a while, she gets up and starts working on the dress she's sewing. She keeps getting frustrated, ripping it out and redoing it to get it perfect. She's not being rude to you, but she's ignoring you. You attempt to engage a few more times. She keeps answering politely, but she just refuses to be pulled into shenanigans from which a lasting friendship could form. She is very anti-shenanigans. If anything Kanaya does is within reason. Her entire being is non-shenanigans. After several hours, the sun slips into the horizon and leaves the world in twilight. The troll girl yawns. Well, it should be safe for you to leave now. Goodbye. She nicely but firmly directions the door. Well, shit. A polite goodbye. Not polite get the fuck out. Well, off to a lovely start, aren't we? You ever get the feeling of deja vu? I guess, you know what? Oh, by the way, her horns are not colored in on this panel. Lovely. It's lovely work there, What Pumpkin. You really are just the greatest, aren't you? Sarcasm. Spy and peep. To excuse yourself to the... You don't even know what they call it here. The necessaries. You wave your hand in vaguely embarrassed way, and the troll gets it out of her sight. You sat back for a few minutes ago, just outside the door to the room you're in now. You wait until you hear the thump of yourself arrive in the closet and the troll abandoning her desk, and then you quickly zap into the room and read her current chat. It just cannot escape my notice. The last 3 times you've contacted me, it was to ask if I finished your dress yet. Under these circumstances, I'm kind of trying to believe that you wanted for no particular reason. I wish you could just tell me why it's so important. Of course you do. Fussy Fangs always has to be a reason for everything. Maybe I just want a present for my Moirail. Did you think of that? Or are you too busy fussing around in your fuss block? Maybe I'm being nice. Or did you not think I can be nice sometimes? I know you can be. When you want. Sort of. Are we Moirails again now then? Yesterday you said defining our relationship was something only lame dorks would do. Yeah, and my Moirail's a super lame dork. That's you, Fangface! It's just I can't help but notice that I'm your Moirail again right now. When you want something from me, you notice a lot, don't you? Always noticing something. I don't see... I hate Vriska's typing quirk. Like, on a scale of like 1 to 10 of annoyance, I give it a solid 7. I bet you would be shocked to know how much you don't see. You don't even know half of what's going on. What I have going on. If I have ever pretended to know what is going on with you, please allow me to apologize for such a gross misrepresentation of my reality. Whatever. Can you just tell me if you're finished yet? Hello? Kanaya? The log ends there. You sat back before your past you is done changing to the dress and re-enter the room. The troll Kanaya is back on her lunchbox's computer, typing furiously. You have to handle the situation delicately. She can't know you were spying on her, since you've already said that you know Karkat. She hedged your bets on all of them sharing the same friend group. You ask her carefully if she happens to know your other friend as well, Arcanid's Grip. She bites. I can't speak today! The little green flush darkens Kanya's cheeks again. She bites her lip, showing one kinda adorable thing. Yes, I know her. Why? You are sure that helping Kanaya figure out her situation with this girl is key to earning her friendship. A big, juicy interpersonal conflict has been dangled in front of you, and nothing makes friends more reliably. But then again, you don't really know anything about this other troll. You don't even know her name, just her handle. Can you really be of use to Kanaya? Especially when your knowledge of this girl is based on the foundation of lies. Is this the right way to go? Damn, another decision so soon. Aren't we just on the eddies of fate? Offering to help involving Briska troubles is probably not the greatest idea. Once again, I'm gonna do a thing that will probably get me fucked off. Back off. No reason to say, just curious. Kinda gives you sus look. Okay, well, kind of in the middle of something. You can just while away time until it gets dark, sure. You watch her for 3 minutes, she finish up her conversation, start looking at things around the room. Having seen what you've seen, you're determined to find some way to help her. If you can't fix her interpersonal problems, maybe you can figure out something else she'd enjoy. Filled with investigative spirit, you start to gather evidence. Snoop. If you start a snoop, spying, you got this far. Spying is great. You say you're sleuthing around for problems, if you will. You rifle through Kanaya's bookshelf. She has a number of sewing pattern books, which you assume must have some kind of whimsically gruesome twist congruent with the rest of the world building on this planet, but pretty much just look like sewing pattern books. There is one thing on the shelf in your own language. It's not a book, but it's a stack of printed pages, bound together in a distinctly homemade way. It says Spur Beta Walkthrough. The top is covered with familiar and erudite prose. You're pretty sure the evidence described in this document never happened in this timeline you're currently making, but maybe whatever source Kanaya got this from is not bound strictly to one timeline. There are a number of books featuring shining white figures, mostly women, with prominent fangs and variously colored blood dripping from their cruel and elegant mouths. They're all dressed in an explosion of brightly colored fabrics. Something about their sparkle strikes you as deeply, strangely familiar. You must be thinking of vampires. There's no reason you would know anything about whatever the rainbow blood-inviting troll equivalent is. Most of these covers feature a swooning troll of varying genders, clearly about to have their throat torn out sexily. Many of the rainbow vampires are being menaced by brave heroes, all wielding chainsaws. Epic. A loud buzz makes you look up. You can't help but notice Kanaya tending to her topiaries with a large chainsaw of her own. Okay, we're putting this all together. The bright colors around her house, the choice of weapon, the love of sunlight, Kanaya's heart's desires, clearly to date a sexy vampire. Maybe that's what age she is. You wonder if you could make this happen for her. Maybe on this planet, it's not just a fantasy. You clear your throat to get Kanaya's attention, and then casually wonder aloud if alternatives are kind of non-living creatures. Oh, you mean the undead? Yes, the undead. Where might one find the undead? It is not difficult. They trot past my hive in their hordes every day, slathering and so on, trying to get in sometimes. It's all coming together. It's all coming together! That must be the root of Kanaya's fascination. You start to form a plan. The plan. For the next few hours, you keep a keen eye trained on the window. Sure enough, within an hour, a group of strange, shambling creatures lurches into view. You yell and point out the window, drawing Kanaya's attention, then zap yourself out there in front of the horde. Now that you're up close, you can see these guys are not exactly the debonair creatures of the night, but from Kanaya's book covers. They're more like zombies, big, slow, stumbling things, half of them falling apart. Still, needs must. You're going to net one of them for Kanaya. You stand your ground and they lurch towards you, trying to select the most alluring. Suddenly, Kanaya's at your side, out of breath from running. She's wielding a chainsaw. Are you actually bereft of sense? You don't fight the undead. This is suicidal. You weren't trying to fight them, but there's no time to explain that because they're attacking you anyway. Why are we always fighting in a field? First it was Skyla, and now it's Kanaya. A great monstrous arm backhands you to the ground, and monster claws tear through your gown onto your shoulder, lifting you by it. The creature opens a mouthful more teeth than you thought could fit in there. Then you're falling. You hit the ground and roll, dirt grinding to your arm. Oh, is this what they mean by black bloods? I've heard of that theory before, but I wonder if it's true. The top half of the creature lands next to you, twitching slightly. Kanaya's chainsaw gleams with black blood. She twirls and bisects another undead thing, but then a third bear hugs her from behind and lifts her. It's a maw opening wide. You scramble to your feet and throw yourself to Kanaya, grabbing her kicking leg and squeezing your eyes shut to concentrate. You zap. Please don't let this monster have come with you. You open your eyes. The monster did not come with you, only its arms. Kanaya shakes herself a little, free from their disembodied embrace. The blood pools on her carpet. She does something to get rid of the chainsaw, and suddenly she's holding a tube of lipstick, which she opens. She slicks a fresh coat of black onto her lips. You slowly catch your breath. You're about to offer an apology, something makes you pause. Kanaya is staring at the pools of blood. She's cautiously, guiltily leans down and swipes a finger in the mess. Then she brings it to her mouth and delicately licks. Okay. She makes a face and spits the blood out. Then she looks up at you, flashing emerald with embarrassment. Oh, you think you made a mistake. Kanaya doesn't want to date a vampire, she wants to be a vampire! Pretend you did not see that. You smile cautiously. It's okay, you tell her. You're embarrassed yourself by your foolish actions. Yes. Why did you do that? Also, how did you teleport? We will be coming back to that one, do not mistake me. But I can't understand why anyone would run straight into a horde of undead. You look down. Well, it's just that when she said undead, you were picturing something else. Another kind of creature that was dead, and now isn't, and it's a little more appealing. Understanding dawns. Oh, I see. Well, that's understandable. Vampires are just so cool. They're so cool and hot, and it would make sense for anyone to want to be one. I don't know what a vampire is, but I believe that we were on the same page. Maybe I misjudged you. Perhaps you have greater intelligence and finer taste than I originally feared. Maybe, you say, and you bet anyone with taste would find Kanaya's daring, unconventional, aesthetic intriguing. Even someone like the tentacle therapist. Kanaya freezes. How do you know? Did you just... I mean, who is that? I mean, She clears her throat uncomfortably. Whoever that is, I hope you are right. And also, well... She looks embarrassed again. Thank you for saying so. You nod, wondering if you should say more, but you should keep that friend's secrets. Just like you're going to keep Kanaya's vampire fantasy secret, because that's what friends do. Yeah! This, like, general awkwardness, but hey, friends! Haha! Well, that was a nice quick one. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely.